Tip number 1 is pre-aiming. This is when you predict where the enemies are coming from and aim at the enemies without seeing them. Now you might be wondering that how well could you predict your enemies. For that I will give you guys 2 methods to make it easier. First method, which is the easier one and more accurate one of the 2 methods. Use the radar score streak and pinpoint the red marker and shoot just below the red marker. Also, this will be very powerful method if the enemies do not have a radar for themselves. The second method is learning the map. This learning is more simple than school, so don't worry. By learning the map, I don't mean to go and study all the details of the map. By learning the map, I mean memorizing the locations and map where enemies are most likely to come through. For example, let's take the pit map from Gunfight Arena. In this map, on the sides there is a row of buildings. If you pre-aim this pathway or lane, you're almost guaranteed to get a kill, because there is only one more major pathway or lane. Tip number 2 is getting your custom FOV and sensitivity, which is the best for you. This is like the most important tip, because if your sensitivity is too high you could miss your target by going over them. Otherwise, if your sensitivity is too low, then you could miss your target by not reaching your target. For the FOV, if your FOV is too high, then you could see a lot more enemies, but risk missing your shots, because increasing FOV also leads to the characters of enemies to be smaller. But if your FOV is too low, then you have higher chances of hitting your target correctly, but you also have a high chance of missing your enemy. I will make another video on how to adjust your sensitivity and FOV. This video will be long if I include that. Tip number 3 is to remember to use your grenades and streaks. I have seen so many people not use grenades while necessary. I think either they just forget grenades or they just don't know it exists. Also, to use grenades on PC, tap the G key. For score streaks, you need to use the ones you're comfortable with and which best suits your gameplay style. Tip number 4 is to use objects to your advantage. In maps, there might be objects you could climb to get to your enemies faster and safer. Another way of using objects is to take cover near them so that your enemies can't hit you easily. Also, by taking cover, I don't mean to camp. Tip number 5 is to check the red curve in like the middle of your screen. This red curve can really help you out when you don't know where you're getting shot from. You could make that red curve to face in front of you, then you will know where you are or where getting shot from.